All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Hatha Yoga. Today, if you have a block, it would be great to have that handy. If you don't, a pillow or a blanket, we can make work as well. So we're going to start in a cross-legged position. You decide if you want to use your block for support in that position or not, or the blanket. Just always do if I can help it. I always like just a little something under there to ease that posture, set me up right. Bringing hands, let's stack them in the lap. Right hand on top of left, and that yang side on top. Inviting a little more energy of the day in. Close the eyes, elbows are drawn back to broaden collarbones. And support the alignment of the spine. And then the head. I was watching the beginning of one of my videos the other day, and I was talking about the alignment, and I'm sitting there going, Ambika, your head's not right. It doesn't look, it's not it. And then I settled in, and it was, I went inside and I fixed it. But anyways, these are the beauties of having video of your own practice. I'm just tuning in, dropping down through the legs, feeling the lift up through the crown of the head, really again, just supported by the posture. So if you keep those collarbones broad, that really helps to stack the bones. Easing into a deeper breath. Letting each exhale drain away another layer that is not serving. And your palms together at the center of your chest. And keep the collarbones broad. Noticing that pressure between the palms that moves in. Broadening of the chest to open you up, keep you uncurled. Set an intention for your practice. Place your intention into your heart. Bow chin to chest. Namaste. Releasing back of hands to the thighs, lift your head. Open the eyes gently. Make your way onto your back. Move that block out of the way. Onto the back with the feet as wide as the mat. And you can decide arms out to the side in a T. If it already feels okay to cactus your arms, I don't know how much movement you've done yet today. So pick a comfortable spot for your arms. We're going to do some pranayama with movement. So we'll exhale and drop the legs to one side for a 4 count, and really slowing, like you're moving through something pretty viscous. And then inhale, take them back to the center in one move. So we're accentuating the exhale to help bring more oxygen, okay? Just a normal breath in and out through the nose. Then exhale, right for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, leg center. Left, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, leg center. Right, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, leg center. Exhale, left. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 3 more rounds on your own. Once you finish, you draw your knees up into your chest, finding a reclined child's pose. Hug your thighs and shins in, and rock a little bit side to side. Rocking up to a seated position, and find a Navasana. Feet flat, hands behind, before Navasana, we'll do a little cat-cow in this setup. So, right, bend the knees, feet flat, my hands are behind, my feet are hip distance. I'm gonna just do inhale, draw the chest forward, arch the back, lift the chin. Exhale, round the spine. Again, whatever kind of response through the legs that you'd like. Exhale, I kind of straighten the legs a little bit more as I round the back. We're already working into the core here. I'm just sitting with these with the legs in this orientation. One more round. So inhale, come forward again to that seated cow pose with the head in line with the spine. So don't thrust the chin up, but then gather in your low ribs, right? So you should feel your low belly turn on, and then maybe lift to the tippies, maybe lift the shins, maybe lift the arms. I'm gonna keep holding on. Right navel to spine. I'm not flexing. I'm not cat posing. I'm right there in the center, broad collarbones. One more breath. Inhale, maybe arms and legs straight and pull the belly back. Good, bring the feet down, soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. Just come forward. We'll rest. And come back for another round. Leaning back, pull the navel in, broaden the collarbones, low ribs soft. The legs, maybe off. Inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, cactus and turn right. Inhale, center. Go left. Inhale, center. Do the right. Inhale. Left. One more each way. Inhale. Right. In. To the left. Good. Inhale, center, arms and legs up. Feet together, knees out, relax. Okay, so now we'll take the block. It's always nice to open up the front side after the core work. So block, and I'll show you that first. A fish pose, supported fish pose. So the block's gonna go at the shoulder blades, right on the back side of the shoulder blades. Get in there with bent knees, right? Laying back. And when you get in here, press your elbows down and tuck those shoulder blades under, kind of like you would for a plow pose, so that the shoulder blades are laying back. Check your pelvis, right? Tuck it under, and then we'll slide legs out. Eventually we'll bring arms out. Now, if you don't have a block, you're gonna grab a blanket, right? And you can do this same deal with roll up your blanket from the short side, because I still want your head to hang off the back. That's what makes it fish pose. as opposed to just a spinal extension, right? So you want the shorter one, so now my head's still going on. It's actually quite nice, right? So pick what works for what you got. Check that low back. Even once your legs are straight, maybe taking your hands to the top of your glutes, lift your butt up a little bit and just slide the top of the glutes, iron them out down towards your heels. Take opposite elbows across your belly. Press your legs down into the mat. Reach through the soles of your feet, right? So we're doing active here. This isn't a passive pose. And slowly taking arms up overhead. You just see how far you want to go, right? You can go past 180 because you're on that support. So see what works. Pull the navel back as you breathe in and out. Extend the arms, right? Thumbs and maybe pointers are on the ground. Lengthening through side bodies. Oh, it's just one of my favorites to start in a practice this way. Just unscrew my rib cage from my pelvis. A couple more breaths. Right, Uddiyana Bandha, Mula Bandha are engaged. I'm drawing the navel back as I breathe in and out. Gently bring the arms down to your sides. Bend your knees. Keep your head heavy as you carefully roll to one side. Take a moment there on your side. Now we press up. Move your support out of the way and into a down dog. Let's move into that space you just made. And if whatever movement, you know the drill. Always checking our alignment, making sure that the hands are where we think they are, feet. Finding the support of arms and legs, letting head, hips relax. Softening and broadening through the collarbone so that the elbows feel like they're moving towards your head. Your shoulders are moving away from your head. Find that same core engagement that we had in our Navasana, kind of just a flip version of that here, yes. Inhale, lift your heels up, lift your booty up, get some pretty high peaks there. Make sure if you're extra flexible, you can gather in those low ribs. And you can tend to kind of hang on your shoulders, so watch that. And keep your hips really high and slowly lower the heels down. And lift your toes up, right? 2 more breaths. Child's pose. Toes together, knees as wide as your mat. Bow forward, take the arms overhead, and just let them relax to begin with. Cultivating your breath, checking in with your intention. Inhale and come up halfway. Find some length, press your hips back and reach your heart forward. Walk over to your left leg. I'm not mirroring you guys, just so you know. So listen to my words as opposed to mirroring my direction. So you cross over to this left thigh and then thread your right arm through with the palm up and lay down on that right shoulder. You can take your left arm over your head on the ground or behind your back into your right hip crease. You find a spot here that's useful for you. We're not in a yin class, so we're not taking it all the way to a passive situation. So we still want to have a little bit of low belly engagement. I need to help us find some more length here. 1 more breath. The left hand in front of your face. Unwind, just coming halfway up. Walking yourself through the center. Pause here. Pull the hips back. Reach the heart forward. Belly in. And come over to your right side. Spreading left arm underneath. Having a sense of those sitting bones staying over the heels, right? Be careful taking your hips with the twist. Finding a place for that right arm. Bringing your right hand in front of your face. Press down into it. Pull that left arm out again. Walk the hands forward. This time come up onto your fingertips. Those hands shoulder distance, looking forward, right? You don't even have to see, so watch the back of your neck, but just have that looking forward that helps you find length, right? Using the hands to walk you forward and to push your butt back. Flatten the palms. Inhale, come up to hands and knees. Good, exhale back to down dog. And coming down to hands and knees. Bring your legs out in front of you. Some hip stabilization. So we'll take, again, I'm not going to mirror you. Take your right shin in front. And with this one, we're going to make sure that right knee is directly in line with the hip, as opposed to it going out to the side where it gives us a little something different there. And then same with your back knee going out from the back hip. So then just take your hands to either side. And take a moment to just let your hips relax. I don't know. My left hip is wanting to help more than it needs to, so I'm just talking to it, thanking it for its help, right? And just noticing that pattern that just came on without me really asking for it. And then 3 little baby cat-cows, starting with the pelvis, tilt back, and then tilt forward. Just a little range of motion here. Okay, and then left hand on hip, and we rotate, so the left hip comes forward, and you turn and look over your right shoulder, and left hip ripples back, and you turn back. Left hip leads, rippling through the spine, find that spiral, and then back. One more rippling forward, rotate, exhale back. Good, so then we come to the center, hands come to heart. Finding that first. Press your palms together in the front, bring your shoulder blades together on the back, find your belly. Leaning forward only as much as you need to get that back leg up off the ground. And I'm bringing it around. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Take it across and squeeze. I'm not going to plant that foot. I'm just going to squeeze my inner thighs together. Sit up tall. And then back around. It's turned out until it's flip, turned in. And then I put it back. Woohoo! One more time. Lift up tall, belly in. Relax your shoulders. Lift that back leg up. Coming around, externally rotate to take it across and squeeze, sit up tall, and come on back. Internally rotate and set it down. Ooh, nice. Okay, so then keep the hands down. Take your shoo. Now, press your right knee down into the mat really hard and turn to your left. So you're not going to let your right knee lift up, and you're doing that with the back of your right leg. Now my left hand's going to my thigh to open up through the groin. And so my left hand's assisting the left thigh opening, but my right leg's doing the work there. And of course, we lift up tall and we open chest. Let the belly support the middle so the rest can relax. One more breath. Good, let that go and just windshield wiper the legs wherever you are. Swing legs around in the front. Just a little moment there. And then switch it up. Left knee in front of left hip. Right knee coming out from right hip. So yeah, it's like right now I'm being pitched, by my right hip. So then put the hands down, right? Again, some core engagement really does let other parts of your body relax more because the center is supported. So talk to your parts there. It's really good to know how to turn things on and off in the center of you. Really in all parts of you, but the ends we work with more, right? Okay, cat and cow show. 3 times. So slow. And again, that ripple. Letting the pelvis initiate and feeling that translation up and down. And then right hand comes to hip. And you roll right hip forward and ripple all the way to the left. And then ripple it back, coming around. Right hip forward, turn the spine, look, pop. Come around. One more rippling, turn, let the breath lead you, and then we come back to the center, beautiful. Hands to heart. All right, so belly in. Got the front's got your back and vice versa. Leaning forward just enough to lift the back leg. Maybe noticing some difference on sides, but try not to have a story about it. Just like, oh, this is a little bit harder on this side. Interesting. Cross it over, squeeze. Coming on back. Keep it lifted and then flip it internally, rotate and place it down. Find your center and again, lift her up. Taking it around, take it across, squeeze it up top, bag around. Good, and place it down. Nice, hands down. So pushing the outside of the left knee into the mat with the leg muscle, it's the hip muscle, and then take right knee open so your right foot's flat. Then to whatever degree for the stretch of your groin, and my right hand's helping a little bit, but it's the stabilization of that left side that allows for the stretch, right? If it comes with me, it's not really stretching. One more breath. Good, let that right leg go, and then little windshield wipers. Good, and then make your way back to down dog, and let's see how that comes together. Oh, yes, nice. Get some hug in towards the center there, so the ends can really relax. The head, the heels. You're feeling that traction of spine as the hips pull back. Inhale, come forwards, plank pose. Pause here for about 5 deep breaths. Again, we're hugging elbows in and broadening collarbones out. Legs are strong. Taking those glutes down towards the heels again. And really do think about your supported fish pose here, right? Still trying to find that much length. Feeling the belly pull back towards the spine. A little bit harder in this orientation, of course. We're lowering to the ground. Decide if you want to bring these down or not. Pull the hands back as you lower. Good, untucking toes. Take a moment, breathe in and out. So taking hands down by the sides, like cobra pose, but working a shalabhasana. Root the pubic bone down, straighten the legs. Inhale, we're gonna lift up, chest, hands, feet. Hug those elbows back. Straighten your legs. Pull the belly in, one more breath. Inhale. Keep the chest lifted, lower the hands and the feet. Maybe find a little bit more space. Pull those hands back isometrically. Hug your elbows in. One more breath. Exhale and bow. Let your arms go. Good, hands back to that spot, forehead down. Again, the Shalabhasana with the hands back here. Hug your elbows in, shoulder blades in, lift up, feet, hands, chest. A little quicker, we bring the feet and hands down. A little more space here. If you feel like you got space already, moving into your upward facing dog, but the collarbones need to be back and broad. One more breath. Back to your belly. Head the other direction. Rock your hips. Hands back where we were there by the ribs. This time tuck your toes under. Forehead down, broaden your collarbones. Pull your belly in. Straighten your legs, kneecaps are off. Hug those inner thighs in, tailbone down towards your heels on an exhale, press up. Ooh, down dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. Forward fold, feet hip distance. Take opposite elbows if that's available to you and just hang. If it's better to have some support from a block or your hands on the ground, then do that. Nice bend in the knees to turn the pelvis. Working Mula Bandha at the pelvic floor, Uddiyana Bandha, navel center. Switch the cross of arms. Rock a little side to side. Inhale, come halfway up. Lengthen your spine forward. Pull your hips back. Exhale, bow. Bring the big toes to touch. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Take your arms out to the side. Get big. Exhale, hands down to heart center. And then down to your sides. And close your eyes. Finding your alignment now in standing. A constant shift and negotiation starts from the soles of the feet, the ankles, through the knees and hips, core, translates through the shoulders and up to the crown of the head. Open your eyes, inhale, sweep the arms up. Right hand takes the left wrist, exhale, bend right. 3 deep breaths, breathing into that left lung. Keeping shoulders soft, arms strong. Inhale, center, switch hands, exhale, left. Those legs are really stable, hips are hugging in. Inhale, come center. Exhale, cactus, and lift your chest. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthen your spine. Pause here, take your arms in line with your ears. Pull your belly back as you exhale, cactus, your arms draw your shoulder blades down your back. Inhale, arms forward, belly in. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reach forward. Exhaling, cactus. Good. Inhale, forward. Exhale, skiers pose. Bend the knees, take those arms back. Find that same cactus work here, even though your arms are in a different orientation. Pull the belly in. Sweep the arms forward to come up, chair pose. Sweep them back, skiers pose. Let's keep it fluid for a few. Inhale, chair. Exhale, skiers. Inhale, chair. Exhale, skiers. Good. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, sink a little deeper here. Inhale, stand. Find a back bend. Lift up. Lift back. Exhale, bow. Open your feet up, hip distance. Find a clasp behind your legs. Knees, calves, ankles, maybe infinity grip. One arm behind the shin over to the, or behind the calf to the shin. Vice versa. My knees are bent, and then I slowly straighten my legs, hips come forward, chest goes back. Head hangs. Scoop your navel into your spine and up towards your head. Release your arms. Inhale, come halfway up, bring the toes to touch. Exhale, bow. Inhale, rise, reverse swan dive. Getting big. Exhale, hands down to heart. Down to your sides. A moment to repose. Eyes closed or a passive eye gaze down the nose. Feeling all of the senses turned inward. Hands to heart. Chair pose. Shift your weight into your right foot. Left leg comes across. Eagle pose. Imagine you're sitting your left thigh down on your right thigh. So you can hook, you can kickstand that left toe, right? But try and be really high on that cross. The left arm's gonna go underneath. Find that divide at the navel. Everything above gets higher, everything below gets lower without engaging those upper traps. One more breath. Good, inhale, unwind and fly. And big toes touch. Chair pose. Right leg lifts. Cross her over. Right, hugging both hips in. That standing leg hip, right, we really need. But if we let the other one go out, then we kind of lose it. So hug it in, right arms under. And in that passive eye gaze through the arms. Releasing the effort through the eyebrows. One more breath. Inhale and fly. One big toes touch. Pause. Good. Step wide for a warrior two on the right side. I don't know which orientation you are. So right toes to the short edge of the mat, left toes to the long edge. Bending into your right knee till it stacks over your right ankle. And maybe even putting your hands on your hips to make sure we're not at this kind of sitch. Right? And if you notice that and you're like, I don't know how to change it, think about sliding your hips to the right. Yeah. Manage the strength of the back leg. Plugging arm bones in, reaching fingertips out. And then really feel that right knee track over second toe, but also pulling back away from that left hip. Some opening through the groin, left pubic bone, pulling left. And one more full breath. Flip your right palm, inhale, reverse your warrior. Bend through that front knee. Reach up through your right side body, soften your left side, shoulder and hip, but strengthen that left thigh. One more breath. I know that right leg is working. Inhale, come up, straighten the leg. Good. Switch your feet. So right, starting maybe with the hands on the hips so you can really spy when this starts to happen, right? As it is, just think about sliding your whole torso to the left as you go, right? Instead of just bending that knee. And just riding horizontally across your legs, right? Right? These guys wiggle when you don't have your back body engaged. So plug it in, they don't wiggle anymore. Triceps engaged, but not letting the upper traps take the punishment for that. So it is a negotiation back there. Breath and awareness. Flipping the front palm. Keep that back leg strong as you reverse your warrior. Going up to go over. And keep softening the front knee. Good. Next inhale, come up, straighten your left leg. Good. Left toes come in. Bring the feet together. Hands to heart. Good. So from the top of your mat, shifting weight into your right foot, lift the left knee up. Pushing back to a warrior three. If you want to ground right away, you can. Keep hands at heart center or take them along your sides. I honestly think if you're not using your hands on the ground, the arms by the side is easier than hands at heart, because then you have more extension at your awareness. Now finding warrior one. Bend your right knee, left foot carefully back. Warrior one, arms come up. Today we're gonna work some archer arms in our warrior one. So bend your left elbow, and you can take your right hand to your left elbow and just gently bring it in towards the center, towards the midline. And then back of the right hand moves towards the midline. So it may touch back here, it may not, and you're grabbing your shirt, and that's all good. But what we don't want to happen is for that top arm to take your head down, right? It's supposed to be a tricep stretch. So find that, let the left side body come forward, but the shoulders stay relaxed. One inhale here. Exhale, we'll just humble this just for a moment. Take a full in and out. Inhale, come up. Extend the arms. Exhale, hands come down. Pop your back heel. Bring the back knee down. Coming up for a low lunge. No abdominals contained. And then sending the hips forward and the chest up. Hands to heart, inhale. Exhale, twist. Left elbow or further up that arm. Right, being careful not to crank into something that's not ready. Using your core and your breath. Tuck the back toes. Bring that back knee up. Maybe you can always leave it down. One more breath. Inhale to unwind. Arms come up. One-legged Tadasana, come on forward. Big toes touch, hands to heart. Take a moment. That should feel different. I'm just gonna switch sides, so I don't have my back to you. You can stay where you are. Hands at heart. Shifting weight into the left foot. Right leg lifts up. Get your back body online. And coming into your warrior three, whatever version you did on the first side. Pulling left hip crease back, extending through sternum. Carefully finding warrior one. Sweeping arms up. Low abdominals contained. Belly in. So this time we'll bend right elbow. Bringing the left hand to the back. Maybe using your left hand to help with a little stretch there. And then left hand comes back. Okay, and then here's another thing that kind of happens. I've lost my core. So get those low ribs in. Ooh, yeah. And that really gets the hip flexor stretch online. Take an inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, come down for a humble. One breath cycle. Inhale and come up. Extend the arms. Exhale, hands down. Pop the back heel, bring the knee down. Inhale up to Anjanasana. Finding some more opening here. Make sure that front heel is down. If you need to scoochie the foot forward, then do. Hands to heart. We twist, right elbow outside left knee. Rolling the left shoulder open. Pulling those palms down to extend through the chest. Tuck the back toes, lift that knee up off the mat. Good, carefully unwind, arms up. Ooh, find those legs, find that left heel connecting to the left glute. One-legged Tadasana. Yeah. Hands to heart. Close down your eyes, hands to your sides. Take a moment. Open your eyes. We're gonna squat. So if you know you like to have something under your heels, either grab a blanket or roll up the mat. Right, heels go on the blanket, toes stay off. Hands to heart, come on down. Ooh. Blanket. So here's a stretch, but again, it's not completely passive, because if we just dump all of our weight into our groin, it's gonna feel like it needs to support us, so it's gonna engage. Keep the pelvic floor lifting, navel center lifting. Now my tailbone can soften. My hip creases and ankle creases can soften. Good. Hands down, forward fold. Toes in, heels out. Interlace your hands, so make sure you're wide, at least hip distance with the feet. Interlace the hands and hook them. It's at your neck, so that once you have them in there, it's right above the base of your skull. So you don't want your hands on your skull. You want them above at the neck. And then elbows can stay out or hug in towards the cheekbones. I'll give it a little more weight. Again, use the support of your center to allow for more traction. A little more weight forward into the toes. Last breath. Gently release this, opening elbows first and then sliding the hands off. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, step it back to a down dog. Into a child's pose. This time up more balasana. Feet and knees together. Arms along the side of the body. You can always put a blanket or your fist under your forehead if it's not reaching. Into this little kind of compact nugget. You know, you're small, but you have lots of potential. Rock a little side to side. And hands by your sides, inhale and come up. Take the legs out in front of you. So we'll come back to that position we had before, but this time not so worried about the knee being right in the right spot. So my knee's kind of off to an angle from my hips now, and the back legs is just hanging out. Right, just two bent knees around here. And I'm going to turn and face that right leg and come on forward in a little pigeon variation. Right? If you decide you want to kind of straighten that left leg behind you a bit, you can, but for me, if I just hang out here and let that left leg get heavy, there's plenty going on. Stacking the palms to rest the forehead, or maybe a block if you're not reaching that far. Really sending your awareness into this top of left on the left side, top of glute, bottom of back, so the QL, that left low back area, some side and IT action, right? So that whole business, and then that might be the quadrant of focus, maybe because of tightness, and then how that ripples out through the rest of the torso and the legs. Three more breaths. Press into your palms to come up. I'm just gonna switch the legs around. Come out in front. Give them a wiggle. Swing them over to the right side. So I definitely have wider knees than we did the first time. And then turning to face the left leg. So again, watch, like my hips like, whoop, what help? Which is fine, it can help you turn that way. But then as you're coming down, even before I put my head on the ground, I'm gonna make sure that that's letting go. Oh yeah, because now I don't need to take my head so far to the ground, because the other side, right, which we know we gotta pull ends away to stretch. Just keep pulling that string around. So it's really that connecting to the upper glute and the low back on the right side. And then wherever that kind of has spider webbed out into your fascia, and it gets restrictions and imbalances, has to counterbalance, right? So like sends those spider webs of fascia out to keep you thinking that you're centered, at least upright and not falling down. Three more breaths. Inhale to come up. Take the legs out in front. A little shake, maybe then wide knees. Drop them side to side. Let your hips and your torso and shoulders do their thing with that. Even it out. I'm gonna lay down on the ground and grab a block or a blanket. And if you got the blanket, then kind of get it prepped to be used for the supported bridge. Once we get there, we're gonna do an active bridge first. And hey, if you got that block, let's do the active bridge with the block between the knees on the skinny side. It really is a great way to be able to get into the hip flexors, the strength of the legs and the core, and not just over grip the butt to make it happen. So feet back towards the hips, arms along the side of the body, press your feet down, reach knees away. Ooh, yeah. And then tuck and roll the shoulders under. So that you can get some more help extending your spine. Right, your shoulders are connected to your back. And so if you want to extend your spine, you got to pull your shoulders back. Press your feet down, reach your knees away. Breathe. Really extending those hips by reaching the tailbone to the backs of the knees. One more breath. Release your hands, melt the shoulders out, and roll down the spine. Take the block out, let the knees drop in. And bring the feet back to hip distance and lift your hips up and bring in the block or the blanket on the appropriate height for your supported bridge. We did a lot of flexion today, so this is really important that we get this extension through the hips and maybe even straightening out the legs. I wouldn't do this if you're on the highest setting. I would keep it to the medium or low setting, and you need to have that block right at the tailbone, which is the backside of the pubis. So if you're not sure, it shouldn't hurt your back to do this. And let the legs relax. Maybe take arms overhead if that seems good, or cactus. Now being passive. Being with the breath, your intention. Three more breaths here. Carefully stand the feet if you straighten out your legs. And then you're going to move that block back to your waistband because we're going to take the legs up the imaginary wall. And at your tailbone, it usually is too far out, it'll slip out. So take it back to your waistband. Gently bend the knees. If you're comfortable, you can even take them in a little bit further. And then take legs up to the sky. And if you have tighter hamstrings, a higher setting on the block will serve you better if you're able to get the extension through the back. And you're just trying to find that plumb line, legs down through pelvis. And then gently bring the knees into the chest. You can hold on to that block so it doesn't pop out, but maybe you can pull your knees in, and that block kind of helps get me into that little balasana. I feel like mine's not going to go away, so I'm going to wrap my arms around my knees. And then gently make your way. If you feel your block moving, then hold on to it. Gently make your way back. One at a time is a nicer way to do it for your back. All right, lifting hips, taking the block out. Lower down, widen the feet, drop the knees in. Breathe here. And then draw the thighs in for a happy baby pose. So the knees come towards the armpits, soles of the feet up to the sky. Roll the knees down by broadening your collarbones and your belly and your pelvis. Maybe rock. And then moving towards your Shavasana shape. Use whatever support that you need. Something under the legs for your low back. If you like a little roll for your cervical spine, which looks like taking some kind of blanket and just, it's not a roll that I'm resting my head on. It's the roll that's filling the space between the ground and what should be my cervical curve. Because over flattening of that curve can also, and it just lets my head and my neck muscles relax so effectively. I always use this now in my own practice. So if you like that, do that. But do make sure you're warm and as comfortable as possible. Right? This is the culmination of your practice. You've served your fleshy form, given it breath and challenge and relaxation. Now it's able to sink into stillness. Allowing your mind to observe without engaging. Letting your face get soft. Imagine it drawing from the midline across to either side, just kind of pooling back there behind the ears, the base of the skull. Softening and widening the place between your eyebrows. Adding to the heaviness. Take a moment to be completely consumed by where you are right now. Knowing it's exactly where you're supposed to be. Slowly start to deepen your breath. Gently waking your body with your awareness to your systems, starting with the respiratory. Noticing your heartbeat. Let's travel from your center to your ends and back again. Your nervous system through awareness of where you end, the sensations coming into your brain. Bring some more movement in, and as you're ready, come over to the fetal position on one side. Take a moment to honor yourself with gratitude and love. Honor your intention. Gently make your way to a seated position. Hands together at the center of the chest, eyes closed. Your awareness again throughout your body, opening all your senses to this moment. Thank you for sharing your practice. Namaste.